After the first series, the Mariners find themselves in a familiar position, sitting at 500. Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Sports Show, where we love Seattle pro sports. I'm your host, Mikey, and we are here to talk about the Seattle Mariners loss today versus the Boston Red Sox, a game in which they lost 1-5. Bryce Miller looked good out there until he didn't. Had a couple of mistakes today that gave up some home runs that cost him, but I'm not like overly concerned. Still a young pitcher. Mostly looked good. Just missed his spots a few times. So not overly concerned about that. Here's something I am a little bit concerned about. After our first series, again, we are sitting in that position that we sat in a lot last season. 500. It's only the first series. We've only played 4 games, so we're 2-2. But as a fan, at a certain point last season, that got, to a frustrating point when we were sitting at 500 so often, not getting over the hump. And part of that being was watching the approach at the plate and watching all the strikeouts at the plate. I don't think that is going to be the case this year. The approach overall, it seems, just watching the game, it seems different, but the results are eerily similar, right? So I saw this stat put out by Adam Jude on X, where he says through 4 games this season, the Mariners have struck out in 33.1% of their plate appearances, with 45 strikeouts and 6 walks. Okay. So the part that preceded this was Mariners batters struck out 25.9% of their plate appearances in 2023, and that was a franchise record. So already through our first series, 4 games, we are in a situation where we are striking out a lot again, and that was supposed to be. All those moves that they made in the offseason was all about, hey, we got to lower the strikeout rate of this team. Through the first series, that is not the case. That doesn't look good. But again, I'm hoping that's just coincidence, because when I'm watching the players, they seem to look more disciplined at the plate than last year. So it could just be, one of those baseball things. That's just baseball. Sometimes the numbers get real wonky when you're looking at a small sample size, and that's all we have to go off so far this season, a small sample size, because we've only played 4 games. Another thing that I am concerned about is Mitch Garver. He only played in game 1. He sat out again today with back spasms. So already 4 games into the season, Mitch Garver has missed 3 games. We know his injury history and not playing many games in the past. We were hoping, because he was going to come here and just be a straight up DH, that that he wouldn't be missing as many games. But again, another thing that has not looked like that's going to be the case to start the season here. So a couple of concerning things. Overall, this is a game that. It was a loss, and again, I guess also looking back to last season and Mariners history, getting runners in scoring position and then not being able to capitalize that. We did see that rear its ugly head again today. So that just is what it is. I think in this game, I just still don't feel like that's what this team is going to be this year. I feel like this team will be different, but we're about to find out. Okay, so let's just look at the numbers of today's game real quick. Again, for Miller, looked overall decent today, and he just had those, he had some of those mistakes. He went 5 innings pitched. I think he got up to like 91 pitches, which was not ideal, not exactly what they were looking for. But he got 6 hits off of them, 4 earned runs, 2 walks. He did get 6 strikeouts, but he did allow those 2 home runs. A 7.20 ERA to start the season now. Bolton came in for an inning, allowed that run. Snyder was able to come in for 2 innings. Thornton came in for an inning. And, they were able to, help us finish out the game without getting any more damage done to try to put us in a situation where we could start coming back. But again, this team today, they were not able to do They were not able to do that. They could not find a way to climb back. Again, still early in the season. I think when we get in more of these situations, I think this team is just built differently from last year, and they will be able to. We just saw it the day before in extra innings, right? They were able to climb back and then get the win. So, I'm not overly concerned. Just looking at the batters today, Crawford was over 3, Julio was over 4, Polanco over 4, Haniger was, he had 1 for 4. Ty France, that was a good sign, right? He had 2 hits today, 2 for 4. So we like seeing that. Ken Zone was 0 for 2. Dylan Moore 0 for 2. Rayleigh 0 for 3. Rojas, he did get that hit, and the RBI. Our sole RBI on the day. Zavala was playing today. And was over 3. So I guess technically not your best lineup either. I mean, you ideally, obviously we would have Mitch Garver in there at DH. It's an off day for Cal, so what can you do there? I think when we have our a healthy lineup, which again is going to be a concern going throughout this entire season, are we going to be able to keep a healthy lineup throughout the entire season? But when we do, I think it'll be good. But yeah, there's concern there. But through the first 4 games as well, I got to mention Ty France again. He's gotten a handful of hits now. So again, like I said, I'm watching the game, so I'm watching the approaches at the plate. There was a lot of strikeouts today, but hopefully that's just one of those things. That's just the day it was today, because the approach it definitely looks better. And again, for Ty France, it's working out so far. So I don't know what else to say. It's just, I don't know, maybe because it was Easter, and I was also doing Easter activities and whatnot, so it just didn't really feel like it was that big of a deal. Maybe because I had other things going on, but yeah, it just it's just one of those games. And the bigger deals to me was like, the strikeout thing overall through a 4-game series seems like it's continued, and then again the injury issues, Garver being out, and then of course the pitching that pitching injuries that we've had to start the season. So already kind of worried about the injury situation to start the season, which we were thinking that might happen throughout the season, but it's even more worrisome that it's happening so early. But there you go. That's what it was. That is the Mariners game. Let me know what you thought of this one. Are you like me? Didn't think it was too big of a deal? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. Again, we're over 150 now. Leave those comments. If you're on a podcast, please hit the follow, subscribe, whatever you need to do, and then leave a 5-star rating and a written review, because that really helps out the show as well. And thank you so much for listening to the Seattle Sports Show, where we watch legends awaken. So take cover, because with the sea of sound, you will see us rise to reign supreme and win forever.